episode of Sit with Shy. Today I'm joined with Akbar and we're going to talk about transitions from young adulthood into adulthood. Before we delve into all of that, do you want to briefly introduce yourself to the listeners?
Not really. I'm joking. Hi there, I'm Akbar. I do a bit of this and that. I am formerly in the music industry. I work for Event Horizon. We provide the service known as Afro Nation, and we also do Rolling Loud. So we do all these festivals around the world. So you've probably heard of us. If you haven't, where have you been living?
Yeah, it's true. Afro Nation's been quite popular over the years, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been one of the fastest growing global brands.
Mm. Right, cool. So how did you actually get into that?
Oh, funny story. I work festivals, or I used to do a lot of agency work.
Yeah.
One time the agency had this event, Yam Carnival. Some London goers might know it. It's like Yam Carnival or Weekender.
Mm-hmm.
So the first day was like a African Afrobeats festival, obviously. The second day was like alt London, with like alternate artists, rock artists, grunge, dark rap or emo rap. And the third day was like a musical event for like techno dance. So I signed up to that event on agency, but they cancelled. They actually cancelled my shift. Yeah,
right.
They cancelled my shift. Then I called them up. I was like, oh yeah, I booked a hotel in Clapham just to be able to work the shift. So if I don't work the shift, I'm out of funds. I was chatting West. I live in London.
Yeah.
So obviously I managed to get on it. Then while I was working the bar at one of the events on the first day, I think it's the Friday for Yam Carnival.
Mm-hmm.
One of the bar or like event liaisons running the actual event, he must have just noticed me a while back and just kept an eye on me. And towards the end, he asked me for some photo ops, and he was just like asking me what do I do and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So we exchanged some details after that because I was cheeky and just saw a guy with shades just dancing, but then he was like, "That's the manager." He's vibes in.
Mm-hmm.
So just liked how I handled it, and I still had fun. Then last year, as I was finishing up with uni, I was like, "No, it's not really been my speed."
Mm-hmm.
So I just thought, fuck it. Like I want to get back into events, but not at the same level I was at. Because I've done my own events, but not to the standard or size I wanted. So I was like, how can I either A, create connections or get better money doing this? So I thought of him. I reached out, then pulled some strings. We started talking, and then I got to working with Carnival. Like I was helping him with like the Amapiano section. It was the first time he was bringing that to Carnival.
Yeah.
And that was last year, and from then, just been working with them in an official capacity since. So yeah, now I'm trying to take it global. I'm missing out on Afro Nation Miami, but Afro Nation Portugal, I will be there, turning up. 100. Thank you.
So you've gone from event to event. Like, what skills or personal qualities have you developed to be able to be bold enough to go into these spaces? Would you say?
Thick skin.
Yeah.
Like you have to put up with a lot of crap from people you work with, to people that are attending the shows. But at the end of the day, for the most part, any event, most are paid for, so you know that they've paid a certain level of money to be here, so they're here to enjoy the experience. So you can have some pricks, no doubt, but for the most part, nobody shouldn't be a dick on purpose. Just learn to laugh and shrug some things off. You gotta have thick skin in life. Yeah. For anything you do, they're gonna be some less than desirable people trying to move you off your pivot. You have to stay strong, stay focused, and stay professional.
Yeah.
Hey, but yeah, it's never too late for someone to step outside or catch them after your shift. Real shit. Nah, even in the workplace, no matter where you work, you're gonna find dislikable people. You have to be able to work alongside them or just be amicable until you get to your desired point. So that I've always been very forward, and if I want something, I'll most likely ask. Just like the role, I wouldn't have gotten it if I didn't reach out.
Yeah.
And push the Anthony who I met at Yam Carnival for the role, and I was just telling him what I want to do, and I just want to be doing it on a larger scale. And as luck would have it, he happened to be the commercial operations manager for Afro Nation. So when he took me on board, I wasn't even aware that it was them I would be working for.
Yeah.
One thing led to another. I meet Smade, I meet the OB, and I was like, oh, it's you guys. And it's cool. And then they got me talking with the Rolling Loud people, and I was like, wow, this is exactly what I wanted. It's funny how life works, because I wasn't even meant to be at that festival. I lied to get it. So yeah, you have to make your chances when it's for you or find you sometimes.
Yeah, that's sick. Would you say then, the kind of person that you are now, in terms of the opportunities you go for, and your boldness and your confidence, is that the same you in your young adult? adulthood?
Yes, to an extent. As in, even in this role that I'm telling you about, I almost did not take it because there was different aspects of it, and I can't lie, some parts of it were slower than ideal.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't with them in an official capacity from the start, so money wasn't coming in, but at the same time I couldn't commit to a full-time job because I didn't know when these guys were going to hit me up or offer me the full role. I didn't want it to be like, oh, I have to quit in 2 weeks notice, but they need me ASAP, so I just kept doing agency work. And as luck would have it, I met some dope people doing agency work. Shout out Valencia Roper, I'm even wearing one of their hats. Like Oliver, cool dude, he's got his own brand. So like with events work, you end up meeting a lot of people.
Yeah.
If you want to meet people and you're a bit shy, you just want to get out your bubble, event work is the best for that because you're going to be forced to talk, come out of your shell. And I've always been a very extroverted person. Once I'm outside, I do like to read and big on philosophy. But once I'm outside, I'm different. I am me. I'm in my element. So yeah, that's how that all played out. Younger me, he was very confident, but at some points it was false bravado.
Yeah.
Now I kind of am more aware of my strengths. I'm more aware of my where places I fall short, and you know. And I think it comes with age.
Yeah.
You get to know yourself because you know, even if I'm confident now, at least I know why I should be confident. Back then I was just being confident, fake it till I make it.
I hear that. And you're right, with age comes maturity and wisdom, so you're absolutely right in what you're saying. What lessons have you learned, would you say? So if you think back to when you was like maybe 15, 16, what lessons have you learned now? You're 24, what lessons have you learned in that time?
Your mum is right. I swear to God. Some of your parents actually, they're not right about everything.
Yeah.
And in terms of some of the people they see around you, for the most part, your parents' instincts are on point to a certain level because they've lived life at a faster degree. There's a life that you will never know beyond your parents.
True.
They are right. Just give them like this mustard seed of trust at least.
Yeah.
You know, because they do have your best intentions at heart, and obviously the way they go about it may not be ideal, but they are right. Because you know there are some opportunities I should have acted upon, but I went with what I thought was best in the moment, or had other people's ears leaning on me, and my mum was right. I'm not saying she was right all the time, but in a lot of places I would have lost less money or just found myself holding an empty bag full of crap.
Yeah.
Can we swear on it?
Let's go for it.
Yeah.
Talk candidly.
It wasn't a bag of crap. It was a bag of FUCK,
Yeah.
like a big bag of fuck ups that I did not want to be left holding because I was rolling with the wrong crowd or just doing things that weren't true to my nature. And obviously, being a young adult, you're still trying to define yourself, so you're trying things.
Yeah.
And even some of the things you're trying, it doesn't really agree with your spirit.
True.
But you don't know if it's you going out of your comfort zone or if this is you adjusting to becoming the new you. So you have to be aware of who this new you you're becoming is. Is it someone younger you and future you can happily be? And if it's not, you have to really turn inwards.
It's so true.
You have to turn inwards because it's very easy to find yourself on a path you'd say, oh, it could never be me doing this because life comes at you quick and it only takes one bad decision every day to make the perfect storm.
No, it's true. And you said something as well that made my ears prick up. You mentioned something about you feeling stuff in your spirit, like when you know something isn't right and stuff like that. And it's so true. Like you can put yourself in some messy situations, and if you're not strong-willed or strong-spirited, sometimes you can get yourself in a lot of trouble.
Even then, like sometimes you're already in that messy situations. Like you don't want to admit you're wrong, or you feel like the consequences of stopping it or admitting you're wrong or even asking for help.
Yeah.
That one especially. Asking for help is crucial, but don't forget you also have to ask for help from the right people.
Exactly.
And it's easier said than done. You can only analyse them type of people in your life with time because everyone promises they'll be there when the crap hits the fan, but they're not. Everyone's loyal until it's time to prove it.
Yeah.
You never know. You know, when you're throwing a party, most people are happy to come through and help you spend the money, eat the food, drink up. When it's time to clean up, how much people are there really? Do you know what I'm saying? Or when it's time to chip in the next time, not a lot. So don't be scared to ask for help. Like, even in adult life, like, I'm thankful for my sisters because, you know, despite my many mess ups and just my tomfoolery, they've always been like sources of wisdom and just retreat. I can turn to them when I'm unsure about a decision or if I'm doubting my own inner thoughts because you can't always be right. It's just physically impossible. It's just statistics. So yeah, like it's never too late to turn around and change direction. Like, but damn, yeah, you know, you might have gone long way down a dark path, but you're on a dark path, even if it means it's a long walk to the light. Mate, you gotta start somewhere, man. Take it from me, like I'm no saint, and I'll tell you that for free. I'll charge you next time. I'm playing.
You mentioned about like friends, so let's talk about like friendships real quick. Do you still have the same friendship groups back from when you was in like school days, uni days, those kind of times, or have they changed?
Not in the slightest. I wouldn't say I had friends. I had people I thought were friends, or people who became acquaintances. And oddly enough, the ones who I would have counted and seen me go in the distance, thinking my friends, I mean my children are going to be friends with your children. I don't even hear from them today.
That's sad.
Not to say like it's all on them. Sometimes it's a case of maybe I haven't reached out. Well, last time I reached out, I didn't get a response or an optimal response. But they're not really here right now. So be flexible and pick your friends wisely. You don't need a large bunch, because I swear to you, man, most of these guys are not there when it's time to like pay the piper, or when you just need a friend to be real with you. Some of your friends are yes men because they don't really care about what happens to you, so they'll just go along with the flow until it's convenient for them to just dip. Or if you're no longer like of service to them, they'll just cut you off. And it's sad to say, with some of them, you will never be truly aware of who they are until that moment comes, and yet you will feel betrayed. Or even sometimes you'll see some signs where you view a friend treating or reciprocating energy from another friend way more, even though you've done more, you believe you've done more. Obviously, everyone's entitled to believe what, like, the level of merit you bring to their friendship or their life, but you feel away. Like, no one wants to feel underappreciated or just undervalued. It's like, you know, one friend that's hardly does anything for you, never shows up for you, but you're first to call them over for a drink or when it's time to celebrate. But you've missed my birthday. Like, what's up with that? Like, we're laughing, but it gets like that sometimes. For
that's
real,
true.
And some people just won't love you the way you love them, and that's not wrong. But you just have to be able to knowing where you stand is key. You know, that summarizes what I say in essentially. Know where you stand within your friendships and your relationships. With it could be sexually, familial, or even on a friendly basis. Just know your position, your relationship, and be aware, because you don't want to be thinking that, you know, they do the same for you. Then be left with your mouth ajar when it doesn't happen. It's sad to say I've been there before, as I've said.
Same. It's tough. I was even having a conversation with my mum the other day, and it is tough when you feel like you do have a good heart and you try and give to your friends or your people around you, and sometimes you don't feel appreciated, or as though you have those people that would reciprocate back to you. So, like, what advice would you give now, back to your younger self? How would you discern how to find the right group of people to hang around with and friends?
You have to put yourself out there, but don't force it, bro. Like, younger me, because I was doing a lot of things people around me weren't. Like, even reading manga, like, it's so prevalent now. Everyone reads manga, watches anime. I used to be the dude walking around with 14 books in my bag, like, looking like I was lugging carriage, lugging heavy stuff. But you have to know yourself. It's not easy, but know what you like and try to stick to it, but be open to other things. If you're feeling away, or if you're feeling like you don't belong in a certain environment, cool, it might just be like anxiety from trying something new the first time. But if it's your second or third time, or there's just been like adverse reactions, take a hint. Sometimes some people just aren't for you, no matter how much you want them to be or how cool you perceive them to be. Or they could really be lame. Like, some people turn out to be really lame. Like, it was disgusting. It's like, you think they're so cool, then you find out the type of person they are, or what they do to their so-called friends, and you're like, you're just a lame. Like, you're a piece of stone with like silver packaging and nothing. So you've got to be true to yourself, and like, it's easier when you know who you are. Take some time to get to know yourself, what you want, what makes you happy, and you know, not saying, you know, figure life out. Jeez, I'm 24, I still haven't.
I'm 25, I still haven't. There you go.
Hey, come on. Who knows? Like, but you know, certain friends aren't your friends truly. They've already snaked you, or a certain situationship is no longer conducive. And it's okay to call people what they are. Some people are acquaintances, not your friends. Because people with your friends, bro, they'll drag you into some shit, and now you're having to deal with it, and they're nowhere to be seen, or as we say, it's just not moving conducive, man. Some people aren't for you or are not good for you. Take stock. Like, it doesn't take much to sit and think, you know what, the people around me right now, are we moving towards the same goal? Even if we're on different paths, do we want similar things in life, and are our priorities, our values the same?
Yeah.
Sure, you know, they might always be down to smoke or come over or even go out with you or whatnot, but do you talk business? You can have friends for different reasons, but are they helping you grow? Are you growing with them? Or maybe you're the cancer in your own friend group, reflecting your own actions. Are you being a good influence on your friends?
Yeah.
You have to think. Or is there like a friend you should maybe look out and cherish more, because, you know, if they weren't there, you generally miss them, or you've just been overlooking them for people that aren't worth it.
That's so true.
Take stock, man, because like, there's only a handful of people that in this world that are ever gonna truly care about you in their presence and absence, or truly have your best interests at heart. Like, not a lot of people will see you fucking up and be like, hey man, recently you've been doing certain things, I don't think it's within your character or good for you. Whether you take that advice, whether it's even true, cool, but they might be being real with you, but just because it's the person it's coming from, you think, who the fuck are you? And sometimes like the best piece of wisdom comes from a child that knows less than you.
I'm going to go biblical for a second. In the Bible, it says from the mouth of babes. So, I mean, like children, sometimes they do have the most amount of wisdom. Sometimes it really be the people that you don't expect it from to give you the little nuggets of wisdom.
Man, like wisdom can be found everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, you're never too wise. You're never too wise. Like, life, I'm 24, life is still throwing me curveballs, and I'm like, I thought I knew then.
Yeah.
Like, what? At 16, we were so... We knew we weren't complete, but we was like, you know what? I kind of got this life thing unlocked. Like, I comes like, you fast, boy.
We did it.
We fought.
Yeah.
We fought.
Boy.
What about you? Like, what's life been saying since? Like, how have you found your process of transition from a young woman to like a more mature woman, even in terms of like relationships and just experiences?
I feel as though I've been through a lot that has definitely helped me to develop into like the woman that I am today. And I feel like I've matured definitely a lot, like emotionally, mentally, etc., etc. I think one thing that I'm coming to terms with more is something that you've touched on already, is that like everyone has a purpose or a place within your life, and to put people into those boxes accordingly. Before I was like so quick to call someone a friend, and it's like, no, friendship isn't just a title. It's actually an action, something that you have to do as well.
It's a process.
Yeah, it is.
It's a process that's under constant refinement.
It is. And I found myself for a long period of time like pouring into a lot of people and giving a lot of myself. And I feel like that's in my nature. I do that. But then I had to kind of like reel it back in a little bit and try and save some for myself, because it's all well and good that you're pouring into other people, but if they're not pouring back into you, you're going to be left with an empty vessel. And
for real,
I was burnt out.
It's draining.
Yeah.
And you know, like, the betrayal is real. Like, you know, God forbid some of you have to experience that if you haven't already. To one of the like days you realise you don't mean as much to someone who means a lot to you. It's very like, it's a sad day. There's no word. It's just disheartening.
Yeah.
You feel like crap, because you know, even at some point in the future you might be excited and think to call them or hit them up again. Then you're like, wait, when's the last time they called me? Or every time they called me, it's like they've been reluctant to come out or do certain things with me. But for someone else in the group, they jump at it. So it's just like, honestly, like, you have to know where you stand at all points. It's just being aware. Like, I feel like awareness is one of the things that my younger self, although I'd be in the moment and be having fun, I'd be too lost in the moment. It's like this whole saying: if you're stuck looking at the tree, you don't see the forest. If you're looking at the forest, you miss the grander scheme. That wasn't accurate. Don't quote me. But obviously,
we get you.
Get it. But no, man, it's not easy out here, man. It's
not.
In times are ever changing.
And I just think like we're just at a really strange but beautiful age. Like, we're at that age where we're still young, but then people are also planning like real stuff. Like, people are married out here right now.
I have a wedding in 2 days. Like, it's ridiculous. People are gonna be asking at the wedding, so when will you marry? You know, kids, girlfriend. I'm like, I've not got any of those on lock. Like, person getting married, like, they've already bought a house and everything. I'm just thinking like, yeesh. Like, what's the last thing I bought? Serious. Like, I was here thinking like, what am I gonna have for lunch?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not in no way perfect, but everyone has their own speed. Like, I think me and Cheyenne was talking about maturity.
Yeah.
It's too much of a blanket statement about everything. Someone that's mature about everything is no fun. Everyone has to have like their little thing where they're not as serious on, or something where they let loose on a little bit. It's finding balance, and it's just adult life is finding the right balance, because it's sad to say you're not a kid anymore, and there's some very real repercussions for not doing things you have to do, or doing them in the right fashion. So you have to be aware of that. Like,
That's true.
no.
And I think as well for me, well, I can only talk from my experience. I'm at this time, this weird period where it's like there's elements of comparison. So as I said, like there are friends that are getting married. So you're like, oh, wow, like when am I going to start to think about those things? There's friends that are like having kids. I'm not ready to have kids. No. But it's like we're getting closer to 30. Do you know what I mean? Or friends that have their careers or not.
That's real rap.
Yeah. So you're at that age where you're starting to be like, okay, like I actually have to kind of figure some stuff out. Or feel
if that comes from like within, because it's been inspired, cool, but it can't be come from a place of comparison. That's very dangerous, because comparison is like a killer of joy, because then you can end up in competition with people who aren't even in competition with you. You gotta just stay true to yourself and trust in, if you believe in God or the universe, or just trust in the process to an extent. Because even with this job, I was at uni doing law in Birmingham. Then I come London for like events, because I'd get to see my family, detox from the city, touch base with my London friends.
Yeah.
But look at that, chance just found me for my next path.
Yeah.
That happened 2 years ago. So obviously, like, Anthony wasn't sitting by his phone waiting for me to call.
Yeah.
But the timing of what I wanted in that moment and what was available aligned. So that was just the universe, for lack of better words, in case you guys don't believe in like celestial entities and bodies, saying the time is now. It's like me, I'm single as hell right now. Man's got options out there, but if you need me, shout me.
I'm screaming.
I had to plug in a free promo. But yeah, like when it's time, it will happen, and it's not everything you want you'll get. Sometimes what you get isn't what you deserve. Maybe you deserve more.
Yeah.
Crap, you might even deserve less. But I feel like time is a bit of a forge.
Yeah.
It forges us into what we need to become for the circumstance that's yet to happen.
It's true. Time is a social construct, but we were in, as we were saying, we're in a society where everything is like now, and you feel as if we're made to feel as if you haven't got X, Y, and Z by a certain age or time.
Social media.
I know, seriously.
It's the prevalence of social media, because think about it, back in the day, I mean, we're a bit of old heads, to whoever's listening out here. Not sure what the age range is, but what, 16, 17, what, Snapchat was just coming out with smartphones and iPhones. The level we was living in, the level of comparison, the only time you saw people's clothes is if you see them outside or on clothes day, where everyone kind of shows up.
Dressed
but
up.
obviously, even like I've got siblings and younger nephews and nieces and whatnot. They can see what's in their friends as everyone's snapping. All these influencers are telling them, if you're not looking like this a certain way, you're not lit. If you haven't got like the same designer brands, so even just go to school. I see kids in Bape hoodies, Maharishi jeans and cargos, flipping Mehara flipping Converse style kicks. Are you dumb? And you're going to school.
I saw a child with a Birkin. A Birkin.
Bro, like, what do you even need a Birkin for? Like,
Boy.
But obviously at the same level, I can't be too harsh on them, because
For sure,
that's just the reality of that they're living in. Because everything's fast paced, and don't get caught up in the need to perform for social media.
Yeah.
Because you don't know those dudes, and even if you do know those dudes, you don't know what's going on in their personal lives. Like, for example, even some people, let's take it down the darker path. Some people with Birkins, like a lot of women online. There used to be one girl on my on my feed. She used to like see like one girl was always getting gifts.
Yeah.
Later, it turns out the only reason someone was getting gifts, she'd get like exorbitant gifts when her husband had cheated.
Hey, God forbid.
Yeah, God forbid. So obviously on the gram, on the TL, it looks like she's popping, she's happy, she's styling and sourcing. But as soon as that camera comes off,
reality kicks in.
Ay caramba, reality kicks in. You're sad. It's like, that moment in the club where you see someone fake a snap. As soon as the flashlights come on, they're lit, they're getting turned up. Man, looks like they're enjoying themselves at a survival party. Flashlight comes off, they're on their phone scrolling through their work emails. We've all been there. Like, just live your truth. Like, there's an African saying, cut your cloth according to your size. Make do with what you have without overextending yourself, because
Yeah.
what, you've impressed some random people on the internet, gotten a few likes, now you're out of pocket, you're broke, or you're just mentally exhausted from doing something you shouldn't have been doing. There's nothing wrong with staying in your lane. That's what I'd say to younger me.
Yeah.
Your lane is pretty lit, man. Like, you're an awesome dude. Just stay true to yourself, and there's no need to impress some dudes, man. Like, bro, they're lame. They have not got much going on in their lives.
Yeah.
And some people aren't destined for, like, the same path or highs that you have. You can't bring everyone along.
That's true.
Like, I feel like maybe it's more of a black thing sometimes, I think, because even with families, like, with wealth creation, want everyone to be good, you can't force someone to do what they don't want to do.
You can't. In life, period. Yeah.
You know, sometimes you just gotta, like, do you. Sad to say. Sometimes it gets lonely. Like, it just gets lonely out here, man. Like, being human, especially in, like, a place like uni, lonely.
My uni experience was lonely. I'll be real. I'll be real. I was lonely only because, like, on my course I did English literature, and I was the only. Well, I wasn't the only. I was one of the only people of color. There was only like a small handful of us.
Yeah, but even then, would you say, like, did you try to, like, not assimilate, you know, like, not mold yourself into the crowd, but like get to know others?
100%. But even then, it's like, I don't know. My uni experience in general was just a bit tough. But like, if I look back on like my young adulthood, so like, you started uni at what age? 18? No, yeah, 18. That definitely did shape me, because obviously I'm going to somewhere completely new to me. I'm pretty much there by myself. A lot of people had the benefit of like knowing at least a few people from school or something like that. My living circumstances, so the people I was living with, it was a bit tough as well. But like, again, all of those experiences, they definitely did shape me and help me become more like hardened, I guess, to be able to be resilient and deal with a lot of stuff.
Forged. I feel, likewise, if any people from Birmingham are listening, you already know, like, my uni experience was lit, but it was lonely at times, because, you know, when all the partying and stuff done, you're just cracking on with work. Yeah. You just miss home, and you miss a familiar feeling.
There we go. Yeah.
That's why I feel like a lot of people got into relationships under duress, because they were lonely, not because they were truly content with themselves. They just wanted someone to talk to, or just a friend. A lot of people just need a friend. Like, I'm telling you, you can go so far with just one good friend. Even if you're long distance, just knowing someone you can trust and confide in, and vice versa. Yeah. It's not easy, right? You can't do life alone. It's sad to say, you know, at some point you're going to need others. It's just, hopefully you're a person that's worthy of being helped. Yeah. And on top of being around by someone who is able to help you freely. I'd like to say without a cost, but there's always some form of cost involved. But at least the intention is genuine. That's what you'd want for yourself. Yeah. I mean, crap, in terms of like actual relationships, and that I'm in no place to talk about. I'm single as hell. Like, I've made some pretty bad decisions in terms of relationships.
But in terms of like maybe like your character, or like where you are right now, do you feel as though like you're in a good place that you could offer something to someone in comparison to where you were maybe when you were 16, 17, 18?
Oh, most definitely. Like, I'm much more aware of my sense of being, and what I'm aware of, what I like, what I want, and the type of life I'd like to lead. At them younger ages, I'm still in the mist a little bit, but at least I can see somewhat resemblance of a path. At that age, I was freestyling. I thought I knew myself. I didn't, and I was aware of that to an extent. But even then, I'd still try with people I knew they had their own issues. Two broken people can't come and fix each other. You're sure you can make it work, but when you're already on your path of recovery, like, make sure you've healed on your journey. Like, you know, not everyone can be perfect, but come gathered.
No, it's true.
Come gathered, because, you know, when you're both trying to fix yourselves, fix whatever's wrong in your relationship, and live life, it's a Herculean task. Some people can do it, but you've got to be real. Like, not everyone can.
Or if you're going to do it, then you need to work in accordance with each other. Like, be willing to work on it, kind of thing.
Honesty, like, open communication. Like, there's no point, one, trying to build a life with someone, or even go the distance with someone with dishonest or half-hearted intentions. And this goes for the guys out there as well as the ladies. You can't let the trauma of past relationships spill into the new relationship.
You're talking to me.
I'm talking to all of us, including myself. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I got trust issues, but mainly because of some of the stuff I've done
Yeah.
or have had done to me.
Yeah.
But I can't now project that onto my new partner because it's not fair on them.
No.
They could have even have cheated before, and I know they're a cheater, but cool. But it doesn't necessarily mean they're gonna cheat on me.
On you, yeah.
Someone that treated you horribly can treat their next person like a king or queen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, personally, I'm into the soft life and pampering, so don't come and treat me bad because hey,
I'm screaming.
my mother prays for me. Don't make her pray against you.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I feel like everyone in this day and age would just do a lot more of like just a bit more sincerity and honesty.
That's so true.
You don't owe people a lot. Fuck it, yeah, it's cool. You're only boyfriend and girlfriend, sure. You're not husband and wife, but human decency is not that hard to ask for. Like, we're all humans. No one likes to be fucked over, man. Nobody. So, like, you know, a bit of honesty and like open communication goes a long way.
Be clean-hearted, treat others as you want to be treated. No?
Yeah, but we've known that since primary school.
Well, we've known that, but people don't live by that. Do you know?
Don't
what I mean?
live by that, and you know, like I'm just throwing out hella sayings. We judge others by their actions, not their intentions.
Mm-hmm.
Likewise, be the person you'd like to meet. You know,
It's true. If you were to meet you from 5 years ago, even 10 years ago, actually no, 5.
5.
Yeah. How would you be proud of who you was talking to?
In terms of my younger me being proud of me,
Yeah.
or me being proud of younger me.
Your younger you being proud of you now.
Ooh, mad move. You know, younger me would scorn a little bit at me because, you know, we've done some things we thought we'd never do.
Yeah.
And it's taken some introspective thought to come to terms with that. And not even just acknowledge it, forgive myself for my fuck-ups.
Oh, that's
and
deep.
for some things I should have done but didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Or some things I did and I should not have been there. Even some people I associated with. But I feel like younger me would understand that it was essential to become the person I am to get to where I am today, because it could have been a lot worse. Just like younger me doesn't know like what life's about to throw at him, but I can only say that you will get, this too shall pass.
Yeah.
Like there's been a lot of moments where I thought I wouldn't make it out, and a lot of, you know, less than pleasant things that just happen to life as life comes, from betrayal to bereavements from family members.
Yeah.
And bro, younger me is not ready for it. I mean, even current me still reeling from it. But and you know, as we said earlier, just the fact that having some people that I thought would be around for life in my friendships or family not be around anymore for one reason or another. It's that
It's tough.
they're alive, but they're not here no more, and there's a good reason for that. But younger me, I want to say he'd be proud, but he'd understand. And I'd say I'm a fair guy. Younger me was a nice guy.
Yeah.
This me, I'm a fair guy. I'm not going to say I'm not overly nice, but I treat people as I'd like to be treated with a modicum of respect. Overstep it, and I will respond accordingly.
Fair enough.
What about you?
Ooh.
Yeah, you didn't expect that. You know,
Uno reverse card. I think younger me would be proud of how I've come into myself. I feel like I didn't allow myself to say or voice certain things when I was younger, and I kept a lot of things in. And the way that I viewed myself wasn't as positive as it could have been. But I feel like through certain life events and through just maturing and growing up, I definitely feel as though I haven't fully found myself, but I definitely know somewhat who I am. You know what I mean?
Come on, word. That's beautiful.
So yeah.
You know, in terms of like knowing who you are, like, I feel like the search of oneself is just hard, because even, not to say with younger me, but like a year or two ago, I was between like a rock and a hard place.
Yeah.
And it's like I turned back to my philosophy, because growing up to like second year of uni, I was an avid reader, but the workload and just lifestyle just took me reading for comfort out of the thing.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I turned and I realised that, you know, I wasn't reflecting. Reflection is essential as an individual, because even if you're working hard, if you're not taking stock, as I said much earlier in this episode, how do you know you're on the right path? It's almost like goal setting. You have to stop, pause, acknowledge what you've done, maybe give yourself a pat on the back. Fuck, yeah, sure, you've went down a dark path, but at least you've made an effort. Some people have stagnated and just not moved at all. you know, only with trying some things can you find out that that thing is not for you. So
True.
just sometimes you have to congratulate yourself on a bad decision, because fuck, you might have been pondering that bad decision over the rest of your life, thinking, oh, it could have been a good decision. At least now you know. And it's not. I'm not saying don't go thinking like we're telling you to do all these bad decisions. In your head. I am not saying that.
Yeah.
Live a little, take risks, prosper. Like for the most part, while you're young, don't try not to end up in jail. People, that's not lit.
Yeah, I beg.
I've never been, but hey yo, it's like a nice place. The food and culinary options there are terrible.
Yeah.
So yeah, like definitely just put yourself out there. Younger me would be happy with that too. That I've taken risks and I've allowed myself to be who I truly am.
That's
I'm
good.
not really as scared of judgment as I used to be.
Yeah.
I let my persona show I am who I am. It's only when you are who you are that you can attract others who like you for being your truest self.
Yeah.
If you're too busy pretending, you're one, being fake, and two, the people you're attracting and surrounding yourself with aren't the truest people for you.
That is true. Another thing I would say for me that I was just thinking about as well is I think younger me would be proud of like overcoming or coming to terms with dealing with like stuff like anxiety and stuff like that. Like before I would go into a room and I would just automatically feel as though I don't belong. But like no, I do belong. Like I've worked hard to go into certain spaces and stuff like that, and I feel like younger me would be proud of me even saying that now. So that's progress. So
Come on.
Yeah.
Sometimes, as I say, it's like you're more aware of what you bring to the table.
Yeah.
You know, preferable table. You know, you're more assured within yourself. It comes with age. Like even when you talk, like the way you conduct conversation, or even your mannerisms, I've noticed, and it's changed. Like obviously it was a lifetime ago at this point.
Yeah.
It's pre-corona.
I know, long time.
A long time. I am glad you're still alive, chef. Yo, man, some people in here, man, you know.
It's true.
R.I.P. to them guys.
Honestly.
It's not easy, even in this ever-changing world. Like, look at what tech's doing.
Yeah, I know.
Like, God, I have to think, is my job still going to be my job in 10 years? Like, you have to be smart, you have to be adaptable. Like, in this coming world, I'm not even sure, like, what it looks like. And we're talking about having kids.
Yeah.
Imagine having to raise kids in the age of social media.
It's scary.
It's scary. You don't know what the hell they're doing on that phone.
Yeah.
Like, even me as an adult, I'll be doing some crazy. I'm like, wow, I'm actually wilding here. It's like my parents are gonna come check my phone. Just like, it's so easy to go down a rabbit hole. I can't imagine raising kids in this thing, because you can't be too militant, and you can't be too lax. Because you know you want them to be able to like live as their peers are living. So you can't say you know smartphone or things like TikTok. But there are some outrageous channels or pages on TikTok. It's like, just how do you safeguard your kids from this? Like, I ain't got children, so I'm not fit to speak on this too tough. But
it's tough.
I do have siblings, and I wonder like what their upbringing and like their socialization with their peers and adult is so much different. As in, like this this new group, they're rebellious, but I can't fault them for it, because for most of them, like anyone between, I'd say even 10 till 21, the last couple of years of your formative years, where I'd say a lot of your identity is formed.
That's true.
Before you hit like medium real adult years of 22 and up, they've wasted to corona. So like a lot of them were indoors studying, unable to socialize, talk with friends. All you had was online people. So a lot of people have been caught up in the social media swirling whirlpool. It's scary, because people are just doing things for reactions, like
and likes.
You know, and likes. Yeah, like they think, oh my god, they take a really nice picture, they slap it online, they don't get as much interaction as they hope they'd get. They delete it, or they're now thinking, oh my god, is it because I don't like a certain influencer? So they try to modify themselves to look like that influencer, and when they get the type of validation they want, now think, oh, this is what I need to be like.
Yeah.
But that's not them. That's not you. And it's so easy, like, to get caught up.
Do you think younger you was caught up in like the aesthetics of everything? Do you think that's changed now that you're older?
Younger me was caught up in certain aesthetics and that wealth and having clout of sorts would bring. Because I'm not gonna lie, you know, growing up we also saw certain individuals doing what they're doing to make money, get a certain love and attention, and it's like, bro, no one wants to feel see-through.
That's true.
Like, some people don't even notice you in a room, like, or not even take stock. They'll say hi to everyone, but don't say hi to you. And obviously, you know, when you come around with some fresh kicks or fresh calms or even now shit, Moncler jacket. I remember when I first got my Moncler jacket, I felt like the man. It's like every guy's first designer belt. You know what, go on. You was good. You left that belt at the side of your bed and you slept next to it.
Wow.
Yeah, man. You know, like, you know, especially as males, like, you want recognition within your social circle and you want your respect. And it can feel like unless you're doing a certain thing or having a certain materialistic item, it'll make you more noticeable or bolster your prowess in a certain field, or even with the ladies. I'm not above saying that, you know. No, I've maybe sometimes tried to dress or look a certain way for the girls. It happens, but now I kind of let I'd say, you know, not to blow my own trumpet, my natural charisma and just like my confidence, just or my natural allure, just speak for itself. You know, and I'm okay with people not liking or wanting me. Before I'd think, bro, what is it me that she doesn't like? Why not me and why him? It used to happen, but one, that was because I wasn't secure within my sense of self. Now I know what I have. I know I'm worth it. If she doesn't like me, fuck it, man. You know, maybe I'm just not her type. And you know, if you want a little mantra, not everybody has taste. You know, just tell them that, you know, they're a bit tasteless for not wanting you. Yeah. It's a bit like self-conceited, but you know, it works. But if you know what you have, if you know you're worth £1 million and someone's offering you like 10k and a bag of sand,
then
like, are you insane? That's the worst business move I've ever heard of. Not everyone can be for you, and not everything that's for you will come in the time you want it to come. So take time.
It's true. It's so true. And I think I definitely agree with you in terms of if I was to think back about how I used to think, because I would always be like, oh, why doesn't this person think I'm pretty, or like, why are people judging me based on my looks, and oh, maybe I need to change the way that I dress to fit in, and blah 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 blah. But I can honestly say, like, now I've got to an age where I'm just so comfortable. Like, I wear what I want to wear. If I like it, I'm gonna wear it. I wear my hair the way I want to wear my hair, and I love it. Do you know what I mean? And I don't do things for like aesthetically for like validation. I'm happy that I've come to a point in my life where I'm genuinely just happy within the skin that I'm in. So yeah.
No, man. As I said, it takes time. It took a lot of self-love.
Yeah.
And just, I'm sure, reflection, because even sometimes I was like, you know, I had this one girl, you know, I really liked, and I did a lot to get her to like me. And she actually did like me, but in the process, I wasn't being me. So you don't even like me.
Yeah. Oh.
And, you know, man, you know, it was sad, but only when I left her was I able to find, or you know, interest of someone who likes me for being me.
Yeah.
And it's a lot, so much more nice. It's like a warm lasagna after a long day. I swear to you, it's just refreshing. It's like, it's so tiring worrying about others because it's never ending. Cool that they like you now, so what? But if your validation comes from an external source, you're always gonna be at their mercy.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, no, you can't leave your fate to others, man. Fuck them. Like, and even sometimes, like, you might be an absolute oddball. You know, some people are odd. I ain't gonna lie. Some of you guys out there are definitely gonna be odd. But fuck it. Like, some odd people go on to do crazy good stuff, or one day you're gonna meet a super odd person who's just like you. But imagine if you're here faking it. They're thinking you're a weirdo. Now you're trying to tell them that, you know, that's not the real you. Now you look even weirder. Just be you, and you will naturally attract what's for you, man. Like,
that's true.
It's just the best advice I can give, like, and that took a lot for me, man. Over the years, like, I feel like going to Birmingham, getting into whatever I got into out there, and just coming out from it, like, it made me a better person.
Definitely.
For sure.
So, like, you're 24 now. Looking forward, like, what kind of things would you want to achieve?
I want to experience romance in the sense of I am actually, like, gleefully happy to step out and go meet someone. Because, you know, I've had a lot of, like, casual stuff in my history, you know. I've had fun. Let's just put it that way. I've had a lot of fun.
But the streets are cold. You're tired now, innit?
The streets are cold, you know. But, you know, so it's summer soon. Someone's warming up. But I am open to it. I'm a lot more open to it.
That's
because,
good.
You know, when I'm tired, like, not a lot of people aren't that different. Like, sex to say it's not that different, but the personas are different. I'm tired of being tired. Like, I don't want to be entertaining someone that's not conducive. I got better things to do with my time and energy. I would rather be single and stay in like and watch reruns of my favorite TV show than be stressed by someone who I'm just seeing casually, or like just spending money. Like it's a cozy lives, but like, things is expensive. Tropicana is £5.20 for juice. Rich tea. Have you said, bro? Like even biscuits. Like there's so much better things to do with my time and resources.
Yeah.
I want to be more intentional. Like
that's good.
Even with family, I'm realizing my siblings are growing up.
Yeah.
Older ones and younger ones. My parents, they're like. I read somewhere like, you have less time than you think with these older generations.
It's so true.
Like, I want to talk to them. There's stories I want to know more, and I want to become a person worth relying upon. You know, as a man, I feel like things. You know, just know, as a human, you're gonna go through trials and tribulations, and with every trial and tribulation, if you surmount it, you become the person needed for the next level.
Definitely.
So I want to become someone worthy of being relied upon by my family and friends.
Yeah. And
someone who, as a human, I give back to humanity, even if it's on a small way, which is just making a random person's day better.
Yeah.
By complimenting their shoes when I see it. I don't want to be putting negativity out there for no reason. There's enough of that in the world. Like, there's a lot of people in pain. Like, and you know, don't go piss people off because, like, you don't know how close someone is to the edge. Like, it's not nice, man. Like, you know, I've been near the edge and fuck, it's a sad place to be. Like. Everyone could use some love in this world, man.
It's true. So true.
Like,
and kindness. Just be kind, guys.
Yeah, just be kind. You know, if you're thinking of a friend that you're concerned about, call them, reach out to them. Because when it's too late, it's too late. And, you know, what ifs, man, a bunch of that is just not good for the soul at all. It's not nourishing at all.
It's facts.
So, yeah, you know, someone worth relying upon. I mean, finance is finance. There's always going to be finance.
Yeah.
And even then, I just want to be content. I want to learn to be content with the things I have. I'm getting there, but you know, I still find myself wanting to do some like mindless shopping. Trainers, God, how many do I need?
Are you a trainer head?
Now I used to be. I still have a bit of sneakerhead, but I got rid of all my grills. I was like, what's the point of having shoes I can't even wear? You know, for collectors it used to be cool, but I'm just taking up space. Then or like even outfits. God damn it, I was so indecisive. So much clothes, but too much makes you like unable to choose.
Yeah.
So yeah, no. Quality over quantity, people. Quality over quantity.
So like the main things that you mentioned are like being more serious in like finding a relationship. The second one you mentioned is...
I'm about finding a relationship. I ain't looking.
Excuse me. Okay.
Yeah. You know, I'd like to attract the right type of person.
Yeah.
That's why I want to work on bettering myself, becoming more generous, more kind, and especially more patient.
Okay. Yeah.
Like my demeanor and rationale, you know, I used to be a lot more hot-headed and fiery. Over the years, that has cooled down a lot. I'm still like, I still get lit, but you know, I'm just a lot more rational and forward-thinking.
Yeah.
You know, God, you know, 24, can't just be saying anything or reacting anyhow. Jail is real. People's feelings are real, and at this age, like, it's very easy to lose friends saying the wrong thing. So you just gotta control your mouth. Like, a lot of people need to mind their mouth and watch what they say online, because this internet thing is here to stay for a long time.
That's true.
Like, even the content I'm putting out, I'll be putting out some wild stuff on my Twitter. You need to behave.
Okay, but that's even growth though, because like the stuff that maybe that you posted 5 years ago is not the kind of stuff you're going to post now, hopefully.
Oh, no.
Okay, cool.
No.
There you go.
No. That wild child is gone.
Yeah.
No, the wildness is in there somewhere. You know, we'll unleash it in the right environment or mosh pits.
Yeah.
I'm saying, direct that energy elsewhere.
But not Twitter keyboard. Yeah.
No, not Twitter keyboard.
Right,
I'm not going to be doing social justice warrior. Like, being an adult, sometimes you just learn to say, not today. I'm not even gonna give you the chance. Just say nope. Just nope out of it. Like, that's one thing being an adult was giving me insight to. I just say nope to a lot of things. And being able to say no, it's like no with no explanation. It's powerful. Without feeling guilty, without feeling like you need to explain yourself. Would you like to do something or can you? No. That's it. No, because there's or make an excuse. No, just your no is your no, and if they can't respect that, just not the person for you. No,
I hear that. And I think I'm even learning more so that to do that even more as well. Like, let your no be your no, no if buts or babies. It's so true.
Yeah.
Okay, I think to conclude, what would you say Give me one good memory from your young adulthood and one of your best, most recent memories.
One good memory. Mentoring. I did NCS mentoring, and
Mhm.
one of the waves happened to finish on my birthday. These bloody kids, man, they went and got me some like giant card, and they had all signed it. They cut all hearts
so
and stuff
nice.
into it. I'm a very sentimental individual, but I don't tend to
Yeah.
tell people about it. So it was very genuine. I didn't ask for this, and it was like, wow,
Mm.
you guys don't owe me crap, and I'm just. It's like when I guess this is how our teachers must have felt when you
Yeah.
gave them cards.
Mhm.
I was like, one, how did you sneaky buggers find out my
Yeah.
birthday? And two, you went out of your way to get this card and organize it. It was like, I don't owe you nothing, and it's like, I appreciate it. So it seems like, from a very troubled kid, I was trying to just pass on and be an adult I would have liked to be having my life or
Yeah.
environment. And I feel like maybe I even got through to one of them, if not more.
Mhm.
And it was nice. It was a nice feeling. Recently, I spent time with my godchild, and she's growing up just from holding her as a baby and watching her grow and learn to say words and be all boisterous. She's a little tomboy. Oh God, I can't wait for her to grow up. We're gonna have so much fun. It was just very pure and genuine. And I was just like, you know what? So I think maybe kids wouldn't be so bad, but obviously, let me stack this bread.
Mhm.
And even before that, I want to have something to look forward to, my own passion
Yeah.
that I'm pursuing, because I feel like a lot of people, they blame their kids once they have them. Like, oh, because of you I gave up X, Y, Z, or I didn't get to do this. I want to live my life before I have kids.
Fair
So
enough.
I won't look back and be blaming my kids for whatever I've chosen to do or whatever I've put them in. And when I have said kids, I'm going to let them choose their own life. Obviously, I'll try to guide them where I can, but I'm not going to fault you for your choices.
Yeah.
Just don't go killing anyone or becoming something.
Nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Do some crazy shit, but hey, man, just,
Mhm.
if I don't find out and you don't get arrested, hey, who's the nerve?
First.
What about you?
What, my best young adult memory?
Mm.
I have quite a few. If I had to pick one, the first one that came to my mind was when I won a poetry competition, which doesn't sound that deep, but it's the fact that I worked really hard to write this poem, and then when I heard I won, I was like, yes.
Recognition.
Yeah, recognition.
And acknowledgement.
Yeah.
Come on.
Mhm.
Everyone wants that, no doubt.
It's true. And then my not most recent, but my adult one, I would probably say, I think just the teaching journey in general. Like, it's been tough, I'll be honest, but I think it's really enriching knowing that you're actually helping someone to develop into something. I've had so many kids come, and to be honest, you don't realize how appreciated or loved you actually are until you leave a space. When I left my old school, there were so many cards or kids coming up to me saying Miss, do you remember when you did X, Y, and Z? And I don't remember some of these things, but it's the smallest little action can leave the biggest imprint on some of these children.
Facts, man, facts. I'm still crazy. I didn't even know you became a teacher, but I feel like, I've got to thank you, because with your demeanor and the way you just conduct yourself, and even your tonality of voice, I feel like a lot of children, including a younger me, would have appreciated that. Because there was an art teacher, I can't remember her name. I think it's Miss Thompson. Was it Miss Thompson?
The black lady.
Yeah, tall. Yeah. I remember kids used to banter the crap out of me for my bubble lips. She was like, "You're black. Be black and proud. People pay fillers large money to have what we have, and people take advantage. Screw them." She didn't say screw them, but she said don't mind them.
Yeah.
Essentially, I got what she was trying to say within the professional thing.
Yeah.
She taught me to love myself. Bro, I can't even remember when she said it, but that was one of the first days where my ego would start to be inflated. I was like, people pay for these lips, and I grew into my face, and people love these lips. I'll tell you that for free. So love yourself even before others do.
Yes.
Because if you don't love you, how can you expect someone to cherish you?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. And just being open on it.
One of the, there was quite a few lovely people from London Academy days. I'm gonna shout you, man. Oscar, Darren, let's see, Ibtisam, Laquan. If I'm not shouting you man out, you man already know who you are. I can't begin to just list off everyone's names. We're in a limited role. But a lot of people were wavy. People I'm saying are people I'd never even talked to and told them how wavy they were. But you guys did a lot for me in times where I was going through it, but I wasn't able to talk. Shout out Daniel Pinto as well, my guy. My guy. Even Marcus, you two, and yeah, There's a lot of other people. I didn't shout you out, nothing personal.
Yeah.
But honestly, like, if you was ever kind to me at any point, showed love, or even just helped me laugh, or just made me smile, I thank you, and I hope you're doing well. Because, you know, I feel like a lot of people are probably going to listen to this. We might not see each other, but hey, man, I hope you're in a great place. And if you're not, you're better than that. This too shall pass. Come on.
Yay. So we've heard the message, we've got all the positivity and the kindness. Make sure you pass it on to somebody else.
And make sure you post and repost and upload and like. Come on.
Thank you. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.
Toodaloo.